Zimbopreneur. So the starting place for mathematics is numbers. Numbers and numeration. That's the arithmetic side of mathematics. So today we'll be talking about numbers and numeration. Now, what is numbers? But first of all, we're going to divide 28 by 7. We're going to get 4. What is the meaning of 28 divided by 7 is equal to 4? It means that 7 and 4 are factors of 28. 7 is a factor of 28 and also 4. Now, 28 is the multiple of 7 and 4. So that's the foundation of highest common factor and lowest common multiple there. It's more of a summary of the whole concept. We're going to do it in depth on this video. So the multiples of 7, we have 7, 14, 21, 28, 32. Now, prime factors or prime numbers. Let's start with prime numbers before we go to factors. What is a prime number? Most people get confused when it comes to prime numbers, especially when it's about 1. Is 1 a prime number? We will know. Now, a prime number is a number that can be divided by 1 in itself. So 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 18, 17. As you go, all of these are prime numbers. But here's the catch. Like I asked, is 1 a prime number? No. 1 is not a prime number. That's why we started at 2, 3, 5, 7, 18, and 17. Because 1 is not a prime number. Now, since we now know what a prime number is, we can now work out a product of prime factors. What are products of prime factors? Okay, we'll take an example of 40. Now, 40 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. And these are products of prime factors. 2 is a prime factor and 5 is a prime factor. Now, how do you get to expand 40 as a product of its prime factors? This is how you do. Write 40 there, straight line there, and then you divide by prime numbers. You simplify 40 with the smallest prime numbers until you get to 1. So 2 is the first one. You say 2 into 40, you get 20. When you get 20, you go to the next smallest prime factor that gets into 20. That's 2. 2 into 20, you get 10. Right? My calculation there, it's a bit slow, but 2 into 20 is 10. When you get 10 now, you look for the smallest prime number that gets into 10 again, and again is 2. Now, you move on. 2 into 10, as I cancel there, you get 5. Now, when we get 5, we want to look for the smallest prime factor that gets into 5, and it happens to be itself, which is 5. So 5 into 5 is 1. So this is how you get the product of prime factors of 40, which is 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. Or we can write the expression in the form of indices. That's 2. We have 3 2's there, so it's 2 to the power 3 times 5. So this is how you express 40 as a product of prime factors. Since we now know what the prime number is, right? We're a good group, and we're moving in the right direction. So this is what we have when it comes to prime numbers and products of prime factors. Now we are moving on to highest common factor and lowest common multiple. If you look at this, it's stuff that we do when we're in Form 1 and Form 2. But the funny part of it, when you open your ordinary level exam, you see such questions. And examiners, they always say that people fail these questions and you wonder why. So we have 18, 24, and 30 there. That girl, she's looking right straight at those numbers. And the highest common factor is the largest common factor of a given set of numbers. And in this case, of 18, 24, and 30. So we want to look for the highest common factor of 18, 24, and 30. And the starting point is by looking for the product of prime factors of 18, 24, and 30. So the product of 18 is 2 times 3 times 3, which can be expressed as 2 times 3 to the power 2. You get 18. The product of 24, right? You can use the same concept that we did earlier on of dividing, and you get 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, which can be expressed as 2 to the power 3 times 3. And then we move on to 30. And what's the product of its prime factors of 30? That's 2 times 3 times 5. And if you, since there are no indices there, it just stays the same, right? Now we need to look for the common factors. So what's the common factors? You'll see that we have 2, which is common in all 18, 24, and 30 there. And we have that 3, and another 3, and another 3. They are also common in all the numbers 18, 24, and 30. But if you look at 5 on 30 there, it's not common on 24, it's not common in 18. So the only common factors that we have is 2 times 3. So our highest common factor is 6. So the highest common factor of 18, 24, and 30 is 6. So this is how you get to work out the highest common factor, by looking for the common factors in the product of expression, in the product of prime factors of the numbers in question. So before we move on to LCM, I hope you get the point. Now, LCM, lowest common multiple of the same 18, 24, and 30. I'm going to use the same numbers so that you don't get confused how you work out LCM and how you work out HCF. Now, first thing that you need to do is express all these as a product of the prime factors, which we did earlier on, but I'm going to rewrite it again so that when we work it out, we will be having fresh numbers there on the screen so that it's clear. So 24, that's 2 to the power 3 times 3. And then we have 30, and 30, I think earlier on we worked that it's 2 times 3 times 5. Now, after getting here, when it comes to lowest common multiple, it means you're going to take every index, every number, every prime factor between 18 and 24, which we have 2, 3, and 5 in all of these numbers, and we get the highest. So the highest, we have 2 to the power 3, and 3 to the power 2, and 5. Every index, every number has to be represented, but with the highest expression, right? So when it comes to 2, we are taking 2 to the power 3, right? When it comes to 3, we're taking 3 to the power 2 from 18. And when it comes to 5, we're taking 5 from 30. Like I'm saying, every prime product should be represented with the highest index, right? Now, so what is going to be our LCM? It's 2, and what's the highest on 2? It's 2 to the power 3, which is a 24 there. We move on, we have 3, we know we have 3, and what's the highest power of 3? That's 3 to the power 2, which is represented by 18 there. And then we know we have 5. And what's the highest? It's 5 to the power 1. So it's a matter of just calculating the answer there. You can use your calculator and you get 360. So the LCM is 360. It's ironic because LCM will give you a high number, and then highest common factor will give you a smaller number. It's just those things that you need to play around with it. Great stuff, right? Now, guys, you need to subscribe, you need to comment, you need to support this channel so that we can bring out new information, new courses, different topics. Zimbopreneur, sharing big ideas to big visions.